Yeah, y'all, what up? It's your boy Frederico, and this is the Pound Podcast, episode 5, with my main man, Classic Poet.
Highway speeding through the night. Got a couple bad bitches trying to slay some. On my bullshit, doing what I like. Because I built this by myself and they can't take none. Niggas sleep on ya, let them keep on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good, bro? Long time, man. Long time. It's been a long time coming.
Where we've been cooking this one up on the low for a little while now. Playing phone tag. It's been hectic, but you know, I'm glad we finally got this one done, man. You looking good, man. I see you shining over there and shit, man.
Thank you, man. Yo, speaking of shining, before we get, to the talking and everything like that, first things first, I got a gift for you. You know what I'm saying? I know how much, you refer to like Suge and like the impact he had on the business and just, his approach to it and just how he just was just a black man that just didn't really take no shit and made sure that him and all his artists and everything got money. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that love for Death Row, I had to gift you with a little something,
My fucking boy.
I had to gift you with that real quick.
My boy.
You know what I'm saying? So you could walk around.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Only at the Pound Podcast, man. You got the Death Row chain. Shit is shining.
I don't know if anybody ever came to you with the gift, but it's your chaining day today.
That's hard. We gonna put this shit right here, smacked in the middle. But we gonna get it started, man. What's going on, though? But for the people that don't know, man, this is Classic Poet. He's one of the best rising artists out here on the 914 scene. For the people that don't know, where you from?
From White Plains, New York.
Okay. So there's a lot of good artists in White Plains, We could shout out a bunch of them right now. But you're one of the ones that I feel like really stands out. You have your own lane. You're not trying to fit into somebody else's lane and do what everybody else is doing. And I saw that on your new album, Kontradiction. So basically, how was that rollout for that album? What did you like most about that album?
I like that with Kontradiction, I was able to give the people more within less. You know what I'm saying? Before Things Get Weird, that's a project I dropped 2 years ago. It had 12 tracks and it was a great project, but I felt like, it may have not been, as clear. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I felt like with Kontradiction, within 8 tracks, I was able to give you a full story as if you were still listening to an album, but It's gone just like that, And, back to what you're saying, what am I most proud of? I'm just proud of, me having a topic I wanted to touch on, Kontradiction, and me sticking to that topic. You know what I mean? It wasn't too much over people's heads. It was just, it was the message. It was right in your face. You know what I mean? Kontradiction was just about, maintaining a balance between being a rapper and just being a black man, especially in this climate, in this society right now. So.
Exactly. So, when you look at the album cover, a lot of people will say, this is some Black Panther shit. This is some, Talib Kweli type shit. People get a lot of mixed reviews. People don't know your versatility. People don't know how your mind works. Me knowing you, I know that you could touch all bases within this rap shit and just in general in life. We've had regular conversations about whether it's politics, sports, anything. Me and you have had plenty of conversations. But for this album, what was your main focus for the album? Like, what were you trying to, basically get through the minds of the consumers through this album?
That I am no different than you or her or them or we or us. You know what I'm saying? We are all vessels at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We're vessels. We're spiritual beings in a human body. You know what I'm saying? Having a human experience. So when you have a human experience, you're going to make mistakes, you know what I mean? So I have songs like Mischief on there that's just about me having fun with my... Are we allowed to curse on here?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Having fun with my niggas, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Taking trips, you know what I mean? Renting out big-ass houses just to, live a fun life, you know what I'm saying? And then I have tracks like Cancel TV and Black Ice that addresses, the need to kind of like stunt on our own people, you know what I'm saying? And it turns stunts our group altogether, or just, the police brutality that we facing. So the biggest thing I wanted people to take away from Contradiction is that you are able to make your mistakes and still live your truth and what you stand for. You know what I'm saying? So if you stand for equality, you know what I'm saying? Or if you stand for whatever it is you stand for, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to have little moments where it kind of contradicts what you're saying, because at the end of the day, we're always learning. You know what I'm saying? We never stop learning. So I didn't want to approach it in a way that seems too preachy, or it's like I'm telling people, you know what I'm saying, yo, we got to get better, this, that, and the third, because this is who I am. You know, I still make mistakes. You know, I still have insecurities. I still have vulnerabilities. I still fuck up at times. You know what I mean? And I think I did a good job at addressing that, especially being in the music business. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that contradicts, you know, what I'm trying to get out, you know? So I just wanted to address it and not necessarily, you know, pinpoint that this is bad and this is good. It's about taking in the bad with the good, the pretty with the ugly. Like, it's about embracing everything, because this life is here one minute and it's gone the next. So,
for sure. Me not being an artist, you know, I don't know what it takes to, you know, make a complete album. So I don't know the good things, the hardships. What was the hardest part about making Contradiction?
Me. That was the hardest part. The hardest part was me being my own critic. You know what I mean? I had a lot of tracks that didn't make Contradiction because I felt like they were not up to par with the songs that you do hear on Contradiction. So a tape ended up taking me 2 years from the time I dropped Before Things Get Weird, because I needed it to be as perfect to me as possible. And at times, like, you know, it left me sitting there like, damn, yo, I got to get something out, because, like, time is moving. Like, people haven't really heard from me since the last project. And it was just me. It was me being my own biggest critic, and me understanding that, like, you know, this is all a process. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't rush the process. Don't speed the process. Like, what you're doing is fine. So, you know, once I got out of my own way, it was ready to go.
So what's the favorite song you did on the album?
Upstate, by far.
I think this is just me. I love that song solely because, you know, it had the little skit part where you basically was trying to inform somebody that Westchester County isn't upstate. 914 is not upstate, because a lot of people, you know, that you meet from the city and stuff like that, you tell them, yeah, I live in 914, I live in White Plains or Greenburgh, and oh, that's upstate right now, nigga. Buffalo, Rochester, all of that shit is upstate. Westchester is not upstate. Syracuse
and all of that. And it's funny, you know, Upstate is a song I've had recorded for a while now. And it's funny, you know, shout out, you know, Westchester is not upstate, the brand, PJ know them.
Right, like, shout out PJ.
You know, they had started to release the Westchester is not upstate maybe a couple months after I made the song, and I'm like, damn, like, it's, you know, I love, it made me love the song even more, because I feel like now I'm making a song that we can stand by and stick by. We have an anthem for us, you know what I'm saying? For people that look at Westchester and be like, it's upstate, you know what I mean? I kind of addressed it and be like, nah, we not upstate, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking the Metro North down to the city in 20 minutes to get to the booth and record, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still out here in Brooklyn and Harlem and all of that, you know, having fun with whatever I'm doing, you know what I mean? And I could just go back home like it's nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Like, shout out my nigga Pal, you know what I'm saying? Pal Productions, you know what I'm saying? This nigga, he lived in the city, he got here before me and shit. This nigga, so that goes to show we not upstate, because if you downtown or whatever, you can get here with the quickness. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to this nigga and his driver. This nigga's getting a lot of money. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? This is the first nigga, Pal, is the first nigga I know with a driver. I've never heard a nigga say, yo, you know what I'm saying? I hit my driver up. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of money.
But you know what I'm saying? But back to the topic though of the album, you have by far one of the best videos on the 914 music scene in Highway.
So I've heard.
Highway video was the most fire shit I've ever seen, especially considering artists from the 914. Everybody else, you know, you get the album where, you know, you chilling on, niggas be chilling on the block and all types of shit like that. It's you and a bunch of niggas in the crib on their Chief Keef shit. But the aim for that video and the way you went about it and the route you took it, that was dope. What was shooting that video like?
It was long. Like, I think it took up the whole day. I think we started at noontime, and we wasn't done till sundown. And it was and actually like we had scenes that we had to film maybe a week or two after the 8-hour shoot because like I think the one of the cameramen like we lost a battery in it and we just wanted to get the car scenes right behind the green screen and everything like that. So it was long, but it was fun. Like,
Where'd you shoot the video at?
I shot it out in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Right at this crib. Like we rented out a crib and like everything was done behind the green screen.
Wow, that's hard.
So it was so much fun. Like we had such a good time. I had such a great team. You know, shout out my man Steven, Verge Media, and he had this crew, and they all made sure we was on time with everything. I mean, they came with I don't even know how you call that, the action like take two.
Oh shit!
Take
two,
two,
that
like
chop and all that.
and then they had it lined up. They was like, okay, we got 15 minutes to do this scene, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this scene. And then it's like the scenes that you see is not in chronological order, like you see in the video. Like we did the celebration scene, and then we would go and do the boardroom scene. So it was just a lot of fun. It shows me how like actors and stuff get shit done. You know what I mean? Certain scenes and actually tell that story. But it was a blast. Shout out to my entire team that made Highway possible, man. Like
That's your best video you ever shot?
yeah, it's my best video I ever shot. Thus far. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna hold myself and be like, you know, you can't be no better than this. You know what I'm saying? But that's also why you haven't seen me drop a music video since Highway, because I can't come out with anything less than the bar I set.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
because nigga, you using green screens and all that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of funds right there.
we ain't gonna talk about the funds on. We ain't gonna talk about the funds on camera. We gonna talk off camera with that.
Yeah,
one.
you know that's a lot of money. But yo, ever since you dropped that video, I've noticed a lot of 914 artists. You know, a lot of people showed you love. You got a lot of love for that video for sure. Like even just the previews, not even just when you posted it, the full video, just the previews alone. And the way you constructed how you were posting it on your Instagram, that's the hardest shit. Because nigga, I'm illiterate. I can't do that shit. The way you was posting the pictures all in the right spaces like a puzzle, that's the hardest. I could never do no shit like that. My shit'd be fucked up. But considering the love that you got, are there any future collabs that you have in mind with any other 914 artists?
Oh, like here's my thing. I may not be seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think people see me more through my socials than they actually see me around the streets. Like I'm not, a person that just kind of is around as much anymore. But you know what I mean? I'm also a person that like if as a 914 artist, if you hit me and was like, yo, let's get in together in the studio, like I'm not a dickhead about it. Like I'm like, yo, let's see what we can do. Let's get some working. So I don't really have a specific person where I'm like, yo, I'm dying to work with this person, but I know that, I'm always open to collaborating with anybody in the 914. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about, dudes from your way out in Greenberg that's making noise. I would be open to doing something with them. You know what I'm saying? White Plains dude know what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've been hitting Johnny and Tay for a minute. Like, yo, we got to go and do some shit.
Shout out Small Circles, by the way.
Those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? Dudes out in Mount Vernon, New Road. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a county thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a county thing. So, and I'm understanding that it's bigger than just me. So with that said, I'm willing to work with anybody who's willing to put that work in with me.
For sure. So I've been watching you for a while. We niggas, you know what I'm saying? We homies or whatever the case may be. But just you on a music path, I've noticed, you've been putting in the footwork leading up to what you're doing now. I've seen you on Shade 4-5, stuff like that. What was that experience like when you were on Shade 4-5?
Shade 4-5 was intense. It was intense, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I didn't know I was gonna go on Shade 45 the first time I went on there. I didn't know I was gonna go on Shade 45 until the night before. You know what I'm saying? Got a call like, yo, once you come up to Shade 45, do DJ Woo Kid. Okay, cool. I asked, are we gonna rap? Like, are we going to are we gonna rap first? I remember asking this. And dudes was like, nah, I don't think we're gonna rap. I think it's just an interview. So that night, as I was laying down, I was like, let me get my shit together just in case they want to test my bar skills. And we walked into Shade 45 and immediately Wu Kid was like, oh no, we get right to it. We gonna freestyle first and then we gonna do the interview. And I'm like, you see, I knew it. So I was already prepared, and it was intense simply because it was Shade 45 and it was my first time on there. And it's just like, I don't want to stumble on any words. Like, I gotta give it my all. But it was a lifetime experience, you know what I'm saying?
And how many times have you been on there?
I actually just did something with Shade 45 again. I did bar sessions with my man Gray Rizzy. Maybe my third. I've been on Shade 45 like 3 times.
You were on with Nico Rim before, right?
Yeah, that was my first time. That was my first time. You know, that Nico was the one I actually asked, like, yo, bro, you think they gonna make us rap? He's like, nah, I don't think they gonna make us rap. And the first time we got on there, it's like, nah, we gonna rap. And I'm like, okay, so now I really need to come because, you know, I know how he's about to go.
Right.
I know how he's about to spit, and I'm sitting next to him. I'm like, hell no,
For
like
sure.
I gotta give this my all. And you know, sure enough, we tore the house down that day.
Yeah, that was dope, man. I seen that. I was so happy for you. I was like, damn, look at these 914 kids getting to it.
Yo.
And shout out to DJ Who Kid for being a funny ass nigga and getting right straight to the bars and not playing with these niggas at all.
He's a clown. He's so funny. You know what I'm saying? He's the man. Shout out to Wu Kid.
So I also saw you on Source Magazine as well. What was that process like? How did you get a call or a text message or email or anything to let you know, like, yo, this is what's going to happen?
Well, I knew. Yeah, I knew. I was in talks with them. I knew my joint was going to get posted. It was all part of the rollout. You know what I'm saying? It was all part of making sure that Eyes was on highway. You know what I'm saying? And a legendary magazine like The Source, I knew that was going to help the song tremendously.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I knew if there was any little chance that people may have slept on highway, I knew seeing in a publication like The Source was going to at least open up their eye a little bit and be like, okay, it's moving a little bit. It's moving a little bit. So it was just, that was another dream come true. Like, you know what I mean? You know the Biggie verse, you know, smile. My mom smiled every time my face is up in the Source.
For
like,
sure.
It was it was one of those joints, you know what I mean?
Like, and shout out to Source Magazine as well. You know, we wish that, you know, they still had the Source Awards and shit like that. If niggas could just stop being violent.
Like, that's what, I was just talking to dudes about that. I was like, we could bring the Source Awards back. Niggas just need to calm down. Like, we need to calm down.
Nah, for sure. But yo, when I seen the Source Magazine, I said, yo, this nigga, like, in about 2 months, this nigga might not even know me no more. This nigga, he about to reach territory where niggas will be like, who's this texting me? He gonna hit me with that. I was like, yo, this nigga's really moving right now because Kontradiction, I already knew when you rolled the album out, I said, I know KLASSIK and I know when I hear this album, I'm going to have to be dolo, no distractions. I'm going to really have to put my listening ears and my thinking cap on.
Maybe roll a J or two.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I said to
zone.
myself, I said, let me pour this a rock because this nigga about to say some shit I'm not gonna catch until a week later. Like, because I feel like that's the type of rap you are. You don't set the bar low at all. Like I said, you're not a gimmicky rapper. You know, you're a real artist, a real MC.
And that's the kicker right there. I'm so happy you said that, and like that touched me that you know I'm not a gimmick, because you gotta think, you know, classic poet. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways I could have took that where it could have been seen as like a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I was able to stay, you know, authentically me, and you see me and it's like, nah, that's classic poet, and it's like I'm not trying too hard to be me. It's just like that means the world to me. It's just showing me that like I'm doing my job and I'm conveying the message out the way I want to convey it.
For sure, because you know the average eye would probably think, oh, he's gonna be just a conscious rapper. Look at his name, Classic Poet. He gonna be on his Wale shit. He gonna be on his Most Def shit. He gonna be on his Talib Kweli shit. He's gonna be on some type of time like that. But my thing is, you're so versatile. You make different types of music for different types of vibes, and I feel like that's what really sets you apart. I know a lot of artists who they have a lane. You don't have just one lane. Where did that music influence come from on a mainstream level? Like, what artists mainstream did you look up to growing up?
Of course, I looked up to like Jay-Z. I looked up to like I looked up to like certain people that their music videos captivated me. So like there's Busta Rhymes, you know, there's Ludacris, there's Missy Elliott. Then, you know, then I get a little bit older and like, you know, I have a, you know, I connected with Kendrick, you know what I'm saying, and everything he was saying. And there's the Coles, you know what I'm saying, there's Drake. Like there's a whole plethora of people that is just endless names that have contributed to where I want to take it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if they could do it, so can I. But it's just like, I don't have to be Drake. I don't have to be Kendrick. I don't have to be Jay. Like,
right.
I can learn and take away from what I heard from them and curate it into me and my story and my sound and just make it more well-rounded.
Right. Like, when I asked you that, I said to myself, I knew that those were going to be the artists for whatever specific reason. I just knew. I said, yeah, you could tell. You could just tell. So just like those artists, you know, everybody has, you know, the European tour rollout. You know, they go to Europe and shit like that. You went to Europe, my nigga.
Yeah.
You went to Europe, and I don't know a lot of niggas that went to Europe on their own tour.
That was the time.
Explain that process. Like, what was that like? You said it was a time for those that, you know, that are trying to comprehend what that means. What was that like, the European tour?
It was me being thrown into a situation where, like, how do I put it? Like, it was just a situation where it's just like, now it's time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If there was any chance that, like, I felt like I wasn't ready yet, that tour was going to make sure that I was ready, you know what I mean? And I got to experience everything from that tour, from sleepless nights to eating fucking fast food every day because we had to be from one place to the next to, you know, finishing up a show and, like, you know, partying until 5 a.m. and then 9 a.m. we got to be back on the play, you know, fucking sprinting to get to the next spot in Europe, to just meeting all different types of people and, you know, them getting a feel of who you are and your music. It was very, 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 it just thrusted me into a how do I say it? It just thrusted me into a space which I haven't left yet, you know what I'm saying? I've been about my business since I came back from that tour, you know what I'm saying? Right. Because, you know, with me experiencing, like, the show of it, I also experienced, like, the gruesomeness, you know what I'm saying? I experienced the business, you know what I'm saying? The shit that, you know,
the bullshit.
Yeah, you know, that's another talk for another day. But I experienced it all, and it was just, I'm so grateful for it at the end of the day. You know, how that came about, it was just divine timing, to be honest, Fred. Like, I had just dropped Before Things Get Weird, you know, my man's who shout out my man's Tony Dofat, you know, legendary producer for Heavy D, Bad Boy, all that. You know, he was the catalyst behind the tour. He was getting his DJ career started up with this tour and just needed some new artists that caught his eye, and, like, I happened to be one of those people, and it was just divine timing. I was last minute, like, you know, we hurried up. We was like, hell yeah, like, you know, we made sure that we got everything in place, and I was on a flight to Paris. And
you had the right album to go on tour with. You know, Before Things Get Weird, in my opinion, is a 914 classic album.
That's heavy.
Because during that timing, I believe when I started to really start hearing the album, I believe it was around the winter, somewhere around winter when I started listening to it. And just the songs, even the video for Impulse. Like, you know, you had the big ass coats on and shit like that. You know, you had that was an embodiment of New York in itself.
I planned that all. I told everybody, like, we gonna pick a different color bubble jacket. I need everybody to pick their color. And dudes was like, "No, I'm gonna pick green." It's like, "No, but I want green and shit." Like that shit was hilarious. Like, but that was another moment. Like,
I was just like, yo, like, that album was so hard. You know, me and my man's Mally, shout out my nigga Mally. You know, we was in the car really bumping that album hard. Like, it was in regular rotation with mainstream artists.
You talking about our Mally?
Yeah.
All right. Tell Mally he owes a jet ride. Never seen that. Sidebar.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, yo, nah, but that album was so fire. Like, it was like, I started to think, yeah, he's gonna take off for sure. He's gonna take off, especially because we were talking before this, you're a quality rapper. You drop quality. You don't drop just quantity. You know, and there's a lot of artists that drop quantity. You drop quality, meaning that, you know, when you do drop something, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be the shit. So when you were making Before Things Get Weird, was it different than making Contradiction?
Yeah, I think Before Things Get Weird was a little different in Contradiction for the simple fact that there wasn't as much at stake that I felt personally. You know, I felt like I had all the time in the world to make Before Things Get Weird because I didn't, you know, before that I had a EP on SoundCloud, you know, and this was my first time I was going to put a project, you know, out there. And I felt like I could have took this any way I wanted it to be. You know, I was able to make any mistakes, you know what I'm saying, through that tape and just put it out there and let people decipher it however they was going to decipher it, you know what I mean? Whereas Contradiction, you know what I mean? Contradiction, I put more pressure on myself because I'm like, I have to, from a lyrical standpoint, gotta be sharp. From a sonic standpoint, gotta be crisp. Like, I gotta, you know, make sure I have a little bit more wiggle room. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sounding too stiff on the record.
Right.
I'm making sure that I'm letting people know I'm comfortable this time around. Whereas that first time, like, I could have put out whatever I felt. And it's still, you know, it still rings true for Contradiction, anything I do after, but it's something about that first time you put out a project that you allow yourself to, you know what I'm saying, be just open-minded with anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But my thing is, like, even with Before Things Get Weird, so if I had to differentiate the two albums, I would say Before Things Get Weird, it was like Rumble, Young Man, Rumble. Because we saw you, and we knew, okay, he's coming. Contradiction is, nigga, you one of the big dogs now. You've stepped into big dog territory. It's go time.
And here's the funny thing about Before Things Get Weird. And here's why I always talk about divine timing, Fred, because I dropped that tape in 2019. It's called Before Things Get Weird. And I think we can all agree
Things have gone weird.
this shit ain't really been the same in this world since. Like, it hasn't been
weird.
the same, yo. It has not been the same. And it's just like, that was, if you ask me, people who came up to me like, yo, did you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Did you have like a suspicion? Like, whoa. And I'm just like, maybe it was just like the vibe. Maybe it was just the space. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, you just have a feeling about Earth sometimes. You just have a feeling like certain things. And Before Things Get Weird, it was just kind of like, it was just letting people know, like you said, Young Man Rumble. It was just kind of letting people know, like, I'm coming. Like, things is about to get weird. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Little did I know it was going to change.
It really did get weird.
Yeah.
Shit changed. Like, not on COVID. This nigga Trump was wilding the fuck out.
Yo.
These bitches was wilding on OnlyFans.
We lost Kobe. Like,
We're not even gonna talk about the people we lost. This shit has just gotten out of control, man, within that span of time from your first album to this one. So that leads me to my next question. Is the next one in the works? Or are you still soaking in Contradiction?
Like, you know, we had a talk before we got on here. The seeds are already planted for the next joint. I'm never a person where I'm just sitting on my laurels and I am celebrating what I currently drop. You know what I'm saying? Best believe that my next work is already in the works before the project drops. So in other words, I had songs already penned down for the next project I'm doing before Contradiction was even released. You know, my mind was already on there. Contradiction was a done deal, you know? So, yeah, already working. But that's all I can say right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to keep that under wraps for sure. You know, a lot of shit is in the works for that. When did you realize you were, like, you've made it, like, as far as you've cemented your feet in the ground in the 914 music scene? Was it a song or was it a moment?
I think, you know, it was the Highway video. You know what I'm saying? It was that, you know, Arden and them kind of just like, because you wasn't the only person that was just like, yo, dudes out here is really like, you know, deeming your music video the best of the past year. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to like dudes like Steely One and all them that like reached out to me. It was like, yo, for real, like this video is great. But it was also like going out into the city, you know what I'm saying? And finally seeing my project on a Times Square billboard, you know what I mean? And me, posting that really authentic moment, you know what I'm saying? I was just me really just like having fun for once,
Yeah,
you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? And me posting that and the love that it got back, you know what I'm saying, from so many people that I didn't even know was actually paying attention the way I thought they was paying attention. That was just like, okay. So eyes are starting to hit me now. And then on top of that, like, cancel TV, you know what I'm saying? I reference, police brutality being in our own backyard, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't change because we upstate. And I mentioned, Kev Chamberlain Sr., for those who don't know, he was a man that was killed right in the projects, you know what I'm saying, for refusing to comply with the police. And his son, Kevin Chamberlain Jr., who's been a activist out here, he reached out to me and was like, you said in one song what I've been saying for the last 10 years. And that touched me. So it's just like, this is where I started to say, okay, my city and the surrounding cities in my county is starting to have eyes. You know what I'm saying? They're starting to see what I'm trying to do and what I've been trying to do for the last 6 years now.
For sure. So with that being said, like you said, about not just your city, but the county in general, do you feel like you're going to be one of those people that really puts the 914 out there? Because we have history here. Whether it's Mary J., Rough Riders, The Logs,
Shout out all the all-time greats.
Grand Nubian, all these people. We have all these greats. How does it feel knowing that you could be within arm's reach of obtaining the same goals that they had and did?
Well, that's the plan, That's the plan. I didn't jump into this to not aim for the stars. You know what I mean? Very humble, very like, I'm never just comfortable where I'm at. I'm always uncomfortable. I'm always looking to see how I can better myself. I'm always my biggest critic. But that is the plan. You know what I'm saying? That is the plan. I'm the biggest critic because my plan is to be in the same conversation with these people. And like I told you before, there's a gap. There's a gap between that era of 914 and right now. But I do feel like right now's current climate of 914 artists are the closest to that era that we have right now. And I'd be damned if I wasn't part of the ringleaders.
For sure.
Holding the flag, making
sure.
sure that all these other dudes is getting let in a little bit easier because I made sure that I went through the trenches. So
For sure.
I definitely feel like I am one of those people that is just kind of like one of those spokesperson for the rest of this county.
So if you could maybe say in one sentence, if possible, who does Classic Poet make music for? Like, demographic wise, or when you're constructing music, who is it that you're trying to reach?
Classic Poet makes music for the young black suburban kid caught in the gray area. Now, being from Westchester, you are caught in the gray area, especially when you're from a place like White Plains, like me.
Right.
You're definitely in the gray area. It's like you're not from the hood, you know what I'm saying? So that hood credibility in hip hop, like, you don't really have that.
Right.
But you also don't come from the white picket fence. And you're not accepted by whites, you know what I'm saying? You're not a white kid, you know what I mean? So you're caught in this gray area where, you can develop identity issues sometimes because it's like, I don't know who I am, you know what I'm saying? Like, the black people tell me that I ain't hood enough, but the white people say I ain't white enough. So it's like I'm just kind of stuck in my own area. So the black suburban kid, whether that's the young female or the young male, it's for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's for us. You know what I'm saying? So the next person that tries to jump into the music business and he comes from White Plains, New York, it's easier for him. He doesn't get the what do you have to offer because you're from a place that just doesn't really get that notoriety from a music standpoint.
And I respect that because, a lot of people, especially, rappers, they like to automatically jump for the hood appeal. Trying to be street. Most aren't. And they're still trying to reach that.
You understand, Fred? It's a preconditioned notion, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop has been a place where like that shit renders you merit. Like you get respect for that, you know what I mean? Understandably, because hip hop was started in the South Bronx.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
it come from the streets.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it doesn't have to necessarily, that's not necessarily who you have to be, especially if you don't come from there. Because we've seen that don't usually end well for dudes, you know what I'm saying, trying to be something that they not.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very tough person, you know what I'm saying? I'm big on respect, you know?
Right.
Niggas is not gonna talk to me in any old type of way, but also I'm not a hood. I'm not a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to pose that like I got, you know, this nigga, he's ready to go. Like that's just not me. That's not how I roll. You know, so it's just like I gotta only be authentically me.
And let's just keep it, you know, official, you know. Instead of having to be that guy to, you know, move like that and be on that type of time and look left and right over your shoulders, you rather just make music and, you know, be with some good people. That's the type of person you are. I've been around you before outside of this shit, and that seems to be the type of person that you just are anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like that you staying true to yourself is real important because you do it through music and you do it outside of the booth as well.
And I just think you get more, you know, you get more respect just being yourself than you trying to be somebody else.
Right.
You know, it just makes your life a lot easier.
So, you know, I wanted to get to this question, you know, before I wrap it up, you know, because I've known you for some time. How does it feel to really be an independent artist?
It's very liberating. You know what I mean? Because your wins are your wins. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can sit there and be like, yeah, man, like I worked my ass off 25/8 to make sure this is it. But in the flip side of it, it can be very, very discouraging. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, money make the world go round. You know what I'm saying? Connections make, you know, your career a little bit easier. So you have to learn how to make your own connections and make your own money. You know what I'm saying? So your career can sustain, you know? So it definitely is, you have to just love what you do. Like I love making music. Like I love it. Like it's part of my DNA. It's part of my bloodline. Like it's everything for me. So me being an independent artist, you know, it's going to take me a little bit longer, I would say, to get to where I want to be because I'm not willing to sell myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And devalue myself for riches and fame. That's not what I'm in this shit for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this to sell my soul and get the perks of it. I'm really genuinely here to leave an impact so more people can come and say, yo, you changed my life this way. But that's only going to work if it's on my terms. Mm-hmm. And staying independent is just, I'd rather just, like KLASSIK POET runs his own ship. I'd rather just, you know, have a good team with me that understands me for me. And we move it the way we need to move it instead of giving it to somebody who don't really know me like that. And it's just kind of in this for the monetary benefit. For sure.
And you said good team, you know, with you saying that, I also know that, you know, you're big on family as well. And I believe it was a promo video, or just a regular video in general you made with your little sister.
That was actually the video drop for Kontradiction. That was the promo video for it. And, you know, I love my little sister Carson so much. You know what I'm saying? You know, I felt like she represented something bigger than me. You know what I mean? Even though the message was about balance and all of that, I felt like if it was just me in that video, putting up the fist, you know, shades on, you know, people would see it and be like, that's powerful. But if people seen a young black girl dressed like Angela Davis,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially the time that Kontradiction dropped, it not only speaks to the, you know, the black power that we have, but it also speaks to the woman power, you know what I'm saying? And the woman's movement that is clearly just rising with each passing time, you know what I'm saying? Women are really, you know, standing their ground now, you know what I'm saying? Women got dude shook, you know what I'm saying? Women are the breadwinners in the house these days and shit like that. So I just wanted to represent that, and I wanted to show a powerful young face. And I feel like my little sister is somebody that she's going to see that, and she's going to understand that, like, can't no man, you know, hold her back. Right. Can't anybody hold her back from living her truth and being as powerful as she wants to be and being as outspoken as she wants to be. So, yeah, it's about uplifting my family as well as my friends and as well as my community.
That's for sure. So, basically, I'm going to wrap it up with this question right here. My nigga, are you ready for the Frederico's freestyle?
Is water wet? Some people will say yeah, some people will say nah. But that's code word for hell yeah.
All right, my nigga. So let's get into it, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all. This is the moment y'all all been waiting for. It's the Pound Podcast, Frederico's Freestyle, Part 4, with my man's Classic Poet. Let's get to it, baby. Okay, we reloaded.
Yo. Shout out to Frederico. My guy, he just killed the podcast. He asked me to hit y'all with a 16. So I'm gonna hit y'all with this quick 16. I'ma go. Check. Nobody gives you credit to your cosign. That shit blows mine. I'm on go time, but this is not to hit you like a broken record. So whenever I'm repetitive, I switch it all together. This is not to hit you off with a routine. Get used to being tuned in big screen. You're a witness to a manifestation. I'm top one in a perfect situation. Real life shit, we all deal with simulation. It's like I time travel so the throne could be vacant. In other words, I'm a king, I'm a lion. Hear me roar, I can fuck them all up without trying. I'm a monster, violent in the paint like Zion. No sponsor, superstar levels what I'm eyeing. People like me grind for support cause we looked over. Get ignored or we met with a cold shoulder for no reason. As days pass I'm seeing you can't please everyone. People change like the seasons. We in a rap race full of demons and heathens. So I'm a rap god, give them something to believe in. My biggest fear is I run out of words or say something that you already heard. Although history repeats, that's none of my concern. Anyway, I can take, but it's already earned. What's up? 914, White Plains, shout out. We out of here.
Yeah, this that nigga Classic Poet, man. It's the Pound Podcast, man. Puerto Rico's Freestyle, Part 4. We out.